Bless. It's your host of the Down to Earth podcast, and I'm giving you another hip hop review straight to you. Yup, Jay Z, Sean Carter's first album, Reasonable Doubt, 1996, June 25th. That's when it was released with Priority Records. Yup, and his own record label, Rockafella Records, with Damon Dash and Kareem Biggs. Album produced by DJ Clark Kent, Irv Gotti, DJ Premier, and some others. But let's kick it off because I remember this album, right? I think I was in high school when this came out. First track, right? It's about a 16-track album. Can't Knock the Hustle featuring Mary J. Blige, a legendary R&B artist from New York. That track, perfect track to kick it off. The beat, you can't forget that beat, right? Two, Politics as Usual. That's another classic. Three, Brooklyn's Finest, of course, with Biggie Smalls, the legend, the icon. That is a classic for sure, right? Dead Presidents, another one. Like all these songs, I actually remember all of them. They stick in my head. Dead Presidents, right? Five, Feeling It. You remember that with an unknown artist, Angela Mecca Scott. That track was a big hit back then. Six, D Devils, right? He spells it different with a capital D slash EVILS. Seven, 22s, 22 twos, 22 twos. When you listen to that track, I swear he's dissing people for like dick riding the West Coast, and that was 96, and that's around that same time Tupac had beef with the East Coast, and he mentions Jay-Z, Tupac. So that was a shot Jay-Z was hitting at the West Coast at that time. 22 twos. Eight, Can I Live? Can I Live? People know that. That's one of his main tracks that sticks out to a lot of people. Nine, Ain't No Nigga, featuring Foxy Brown. That's another big one. He has a video with her actually, right? That was a big video back then. 10, Friend or Foe, right? That one's another one. 11, Coming of Age, featuring his protege, Memphis Bleak, right? Coming of Age. Memphis Bleak was on Rockafella, you know? 12, Cashmere Thoughts. 13, Bring It On, featuring Jaz-O and Sauce Money. Jaz-O was someone he looked up to, right? Jay-Z looked up to. Sauce Money was associated with Jay-Z. I don't know what happened with that relationship. I remember Sauce Money. He was good, right? And 14, Regrets. 15, you know what? It's kind of mixed up when you look up this album because he has a remix and there's really only 16 tracks, right? 15 says Can't Knock the Hustle, right? Fool's Paradise remix featuring Melissa Morgan. 16, Can I Live 2 featuring Memphis Bleak, right? And then there's like Can I Live 2. I don't know if that was on the official album because Regrets is really the last track. It's kind of confusing. I don't know if he had two different versions of the album, but Regrets is really the last track, right? But he had a remix, or Can I Live 2, with Memphis Bleak, and a video version of Feeling It with featuring Angela Mecca Scott. Reasonable Doubt, this is the blueprint for Jay-Z. Right now, there's a fight, or Damon Dash, who I think co-founded Rockafella, he's trying to sell off his percentage share of Reasonable Doubt because Jay-Z doesn't own 100% of it right now. That's what's going on. A lot of people regard this album as his best work. I listen to it. It's a mafioso style hip hop. I don't really think it's his best work, but it's smooth. It goes smooth from the first track to the last track. I don't think it's his best work. There's a lot of good samples in there. It's kind of weird because he has Snoop in a sample, and he got Prodigy in a sample, and he had beef with Prodigy from Mobb Deep. And Snoop, around that time, there was the East Coast, West Coast thing, and he got them in a sample, right? Dead Presidents, people remember that track. That is a big standout one. I'm just going over some of the standout track. Dead Presidents is probably the biggest standout track what people know of from Reasonable Doubt. It was a mafia influenced album. Oh, and I cannot forget Kareem Biggs, the undercover boss who helped promote and produce this album for Jay-Z, right, with Dame Dash. This album came out June 25th, 1996, the same year Tupac got killed, right? And Tupac had beef with Jay-Z because after All Eyes on Me, he came out with the 7 Day Theory album, and that album, the Machiavelli album, he's dissing Jay-Z on that. So that album was probably made around the same time when Jay-Z done Reasonable Doubt. But this is a classic album, cannot deny it. I was in high school when this came out, so you know how long that's been. Foxy Brown, Ain't No Nigga. That one is another great track though, but yeah. They say Jay-Z's one of the greatest of all time. I think he does deserve, some praise, but doing these reviews, and DMX is another one. When you kind of compare these albums, I think Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt can't match up to DMX's first album, but it's a great album. Jay-Z gets better after that, doing In My Lifetime and all his big catalog. Jay-Z's influence is from the streets, clearly, when you listen to this album. He got Biggie before he passed away on this, so that's a big thing. Let's see who he got featured on this. Like, on the first track, number one, Can't Knock the Hustle, Mary J. Blige, and Pain in the Ass. I never heard of that person. What a name, Pain in the Ass. Never heard of that person, ever. So he got some features on here, some unknowns and some known people. DJ Premier, a big producer, right? You got a couple producers on here. So, yeah, manufactured by Priority Records, Rockafella Records, right? Jazzo's on here. Memphis Bleak, like I mentioned. Let's see, because I'm doing my research on this. Yeah, DJ Clark Kent, and there's other producers. I think Ski Beats, correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah. I don't know what else to say about this album, but this is the one album everybody talks about, Reasonable Doubt. It's a classic. When you look it up, they regard it as a mafioso theme album. You could see by the cover, and it's highly regarded, and that's why there's kind of a fight over this right now with Damon Dash trying to sell his share of the album. Jay-Z, one of the greatest of all time. He got a whole slew of albums. And I don't know what else could I say. If I was to give this album a ranking when they used to do 5 mics in the source, I would really give this a 4. Straight up, a 4. But it's your host, Sean Myrie of the Down to Earth podcast. Please subscribe. This was a classic album review straight to you. Bless up.